Hey guys, welcome to CJ Studios. Hope you liked episode 0. If you didn't watch it yet, you can see the link to it. Now we will really start to learn programming through blueprints in Unreal Engine 5. To begin with, what are variables? Imagine you have some shelves. Let me draw it for you. Okay, in those shelves you can leave empty spaces or put boxes. Each box is designed to contain a specific kind of information like a number, a name, or a true-false value that we call it bool or boolean. Every box needs a label, so you know exactly where to find them. All those boxes are the variables, and the shelves are your computer memory. All the process running in your computer, including your game, access the memory to read and write data on your variable. That's necessary to manage things like player name, score, health points, speed, and many other things. That leads us to the next topic: data types. Going back to the boxes, each boxes store a different kind of information. That is what data types are about. Every variable you create has a type assigned to it and will only receive this format. Let's check the most important ones in Unreal Engine. Integer. Like the name said, they are integer numbers. In other words, are whole numbers without any decimal places or fraction. They can be positive, negative, or zero. Used for player health point, number of items in the inventory, or the score. So let's put as example -1, 0, 1, 2, and we keep going. The next data type are the floats. There are also numbers, but they include decimal places and are used for more precision numbers that are not exactly whole numbers, like character movement speed, jump heights, and the time remaining in a timer. We can use as example -0.5 -0.9, 0 also, 0.1, 1.5, and here we go. Other very important data type that we will use is the Boolean. That was invented by George Boole. And like I said in the boxes example, it stores a value of false or true. It is very important to know information like if a door is locked, if the player is alive, like if your health points are greater than 0, then you are alive. So you can simplify it to just a boolean that says true, false. Other type are the strings, that are sequences of characters the word string by itself is a string. It's useful for displaying messages like we did in the last video in the hello world, or storing player name, storing some place name, anything related to names. I'll put names here like player 4, 5, 6. The next three ones are specific of Unreal Engine, like they exist in math, but it's not common to see them implemented the way it is in Unreal, but let's talk about them. The first one are the vectors. The vectors stores three different floats that are commonly x, y, and z. Let me just adjust here. Vectors x, y, and z. It's the same concept as we study in physics, the same thing like velocity, direction, and in Unreal Engine the use is the same. We use it to store velocity, acceleration, and position in map, also scale of objects. Here we can have like a unit vector like 1, 0, 0. I will make the visual representation of it, but we won't see like this in the Unreal Engine. It's just for comprehension. We have z-axis, we have x-axis, we name the z, and we have the y-axis. The next type we will see are the rotators, that are the rotation of the object based on some axis that can be relative or can be global. We will discuss this later. They measure rotations around those axes, like around the z-axis we have yaw, around the x-axis we have the pitch, and around the y-axis we have the roll. Let's put here rotators. They also store three floats that, like I said, are pitch, roll, yaw. The difference is that it has their methods to deal with angles in degrees or in radians. That's the difference to the vectors, but they are the same idea. So we have here like 90 degrees, 0, and 180 degrees. That's an example. It can be used to know the direction the player is looking at, like you have the body rotation and the camera rotation, and make the comparison, and many other uses. The last data type I wanted to show you is the Enum, that stands for enumeration. So the enums allow you to create a predefined list of elements. Like if you have an enum of fruits, you can store the values you want, like banana, apple, pineapple, strawberry, and other uses. In games you can use it to store, like if the character is running, it's walking or jogging. You can store if he's crouched, if he is standing, if he's prone, or if he's falling, if he is in water, and many other information. Now that we have discussed all those concepts, let's move to Unreal Engine to see how we create and manipulate variables. I'm here with the same project as the last class, so let's open this Word and open the level blueprint. Click here. Okay, to create a variable you need to go to an actor. In this case this is the level blueprint, but in any blueprint you will have this tab where you click here in plus and create a new variable. Right here you set the name, like my variable, and here, clicking here, you can set the type. Here you can see some of the types I've mentioned in this class, like the Boolean, the integer, the float, string, vector, rotator, and transform. But there are many other objects that we will see in further classes, so let's create just the types we saw today. So we have all, we just don't have here enum. That has a different process of creation because you have to define it, and I will show you how to do this. You go here to the content browser and click with the right button and search for enum. Here is the enumeration. So you call it E as the name convention says, but I will talk more about this. And like the example we did, let's put E fruits. Okay, here we add the elements like I show you: banana, apple, okay, now we have the possible types. So let's add here the variable we call fruit and go here to enum e fruit. Now we compile, we have all these variables, and here we can set the enum value. Clicking in the variables, we can set important information like the description of the variable, what it will store. Here we can set the default value and ranges, like I want a range from 0 to 5 and the value range the same. So we compile. When we set here, you see the integer will just use the values we limited. Here are the other values like the float. Like I said, it can be decimal, it can be any value you want. Booleans can be false or true. Strings can be n-word and number combination like CJs, studios. That's a string. Vectors, rotators have degrees. Transform, like I said, it's composed by a location, a rotation, and a scale, and or enumeration. So how do I modify these values? We just drag it to the graph using the left button, and we have these two options, get and set. Get is used to read the information that variable is storing, and set modifies the information that this variable stores. So here we will still let this hello world here. I want this integer, this value by default is 0, so we will copy this and drag it here, so it will print the default value for integer. Let's see, compile, save. Right here, 0. I've seen again 0. Okay. The order that the console prints the strings is from bottom to top. So let's see how the variables modify. We have printed the integer. Now we will change its values to 1 and then print it again. We should use this, it's better. So okay, we compile and run. So as you can see here, it prints first 0, then 1. Let me just increase the duration of these prints to 10 seconds each one. Zero and 1. Let's open again and do the same with fruits. We get the fruit, print the value, the value will be banana, and then we set it to strawberry and print again. Then we compile. As you can see here, first it was banana, then it was strawberry. Now let's do some exercise to review the concepts we learned today. You can pause the video to think about the questions and answer it. So let's start. The first question is: your game needs to save the score of the player without need of decimal spaces. Which type of variable should you use? Letter A, float. Letter B, vector. Letter C, string. Letter D, integer. Letter E, number. The correct answer is letter D, integer. We use it to store non-decimal numbers that can be negative, 0 or positive. The second question is: which component does a transform have and what's the type of each component? Letter A, distance, integer. Angles, integer. Size, integer. Letter B, place, vector. Direction, rotator. Extent, vector. Letter C, position, vector. Rotation, rotator. Scale, vector. Letter D, space, Boolean. Yaw, float. Z, float. Letter E, location, string. Orientation, string. Height, float. The correct answer is letter C. A transform is composed by position, rotation, and scale that are respectively a vector, a rotator, and another vector. Okay guys, that's all for today. Hope you enjoy and learn the concepts presented, and doubts, feel free to ask me in the comments. If you liked that video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you are not subscribed yet to this channel, please subscribe. See you in the next video.